welcome back to the Shopify ESL Professional Starcraft 2 Open Cup Pro Tour. Now brought to you with double the prizes by Shopify, among other things. Go check it out. Let me first introduce in this Cup number 71 Europe Playoffs match. We got all that out of the way. One of the most creative players to both inspire and antagonize the professional StarCraft 2 scene. Always seeming to do so much with so annoyingly little. It's Bly. And the number one member of Team Roddy. In the top right. Team Roddy owned, managed, and sponsored by Rotterdam. Yes, they named a city after him. He's such a popular caster, both here domestically and abroad. They named a whole city after him. That's crazy. Well, he deserves it. Team Roddy's Goblin, which is just a sentence you can say. In fact, it's one of the only sentences to say. Goblin, both these players, like Bly, obviously well known as a pretty wild, player. That's putting it mildly. Proxy, hatches, Niduses, burrow, what have you. Goblin, on the other hand, a little closer to standard, but I wouldn't put him in that shield toss column. For better or for worse, maybe more like sideways. I'd say he's more of a YOLO toss with hints of shield, as in like showtime in the streets, but parting in the sheets. Assuming the sheets were washed in the last few months, which is unlikely with parting, but here we are. So, aka Goblin can play a straight-up standard macro game if he wants to, but it won't take much to push him the other direction. Goblin sending out. So far I'm scouring the production tab, but this looks almost perfectly standard. Like, as a Zerg, your only hatcheries you're allowed to take for your second base are yours or your third or their natural. Bly actually just went to his third. Wait, there's Zerglings. Why are there Zerglings? How did you get in here? Okay, so he got a probe in return. There are 2 Zerglings in the base. We're on Beckett Industries, which is a tiny map, the shortest rush distance by far, and there are speedulas to make it even shorter. Brenda! I know, we have speed zones at home. She's just testing it out, stretching her legs. Why do we even have legs? Back in the... I'm sorry. Sorry, backed out for a second. Adepts make their way behind the natural. We'll see. A relatively standard third at the natural. No creep there because that's part of the reason for blocking it, making it a little easier for adepts to maneuver. Stargate units take advantage and generally annoying the Zerg. Void Ray is on the way. And taking a third is Goblin. Bly has pumped out a dozen Zerglings, which is just enough to potentially break through. The Adept trying to shade behind the Stalker. The Adept gonna die to Zerglings. A Void Ray will save the day. The Stalker trying to jam itself into a corner, but the Zerglings come in right after it. Unfortunately, not enough Zerglings survive to actually cancel the third Nexus. Which means Goblin will be getting that 4-minute third. Okay, and here we go. Bly understanding the true strength of the Zerg is not its Zerglings, not its Hydras, not its Ultralisks. Queens. How many goddamn times? Queens. Multiple queens in production. Goblin is telegraphing an interest in Void Rays, and it doesn't take much. Honestly, on this map, it's not even much of a journey. A couple creep tumors and a speed zone. It is almost a normal attack for queens early on, as it's like 3 creep tumors until you can just walk up to their third. So the continued queen production, both are a great idea for defense, and what can't they do? What's not to love? Hashtag Yas Queens. That's what that hashtag is for. The Void Rays being produced. Goblin is continuing down the Stargate path. +1. Oh. Bly may have seen the +1 researching on the Cybercore, which can be faked. Oh, Brenda! When we're walking, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Why not 3, 4? What? Keep it simple! God damn it! Keep walking! No! It's right over there! We're almost there! That wasn't so hard! Oh my god! It's actually just a queen attack. There's no other... It's just queens. Oh no! It's not like queens with roaches. It's not queens with zerglings. It is oh wait, here are 2 roaches. Token roaches. Ravagers, I mean. Trying to earn their keep. Why don't they take any damage? Oh! There you go. Wait, who are these people? Can you guys shoot up? I mean... Well, get out of the way! There's some zealots getting involved. One of the longest... The queens will eventually die. The Void Rays don't even have +1 attack yet. Queens not armored units. Oh, the long journey home. Oh, where were you guys 2 minutes ago? Well, we didn't have enough larvae because somebody left the base, say the Zerglings. Who could it have been? That corrosive bile killed, I think, only Zerglings. But, okay, are we going for the hatch? The queen moving into a more conservative... Their number has been whittled down. 6 queens have died throughout all this, and I don't think that will be the end of it. But they continue to turn back towards the Void Rays, doing a surprisingly good job. I mean, oh, the creep has arrived! Reinforcements! Our daughters are here! And we will have revenge! For Brenda! The first to die! Or maybe the granddaughters, I don't know. Stop tilting the camera. Oh my god. Wait, no, the camera's normal. My eyes are just weird now. Oh, just when I get my voice back, it appears forces beyond my control are going to take it from me again. It's now Ravager. This is looking a bit more like a Bly game. Between the corrosive Blyles and the queen push. Creep getting whittled down, but there actually is no detection otherwise here. Get off my lawn! Our lawn. Sorry, comrade. We're all one hive here. Okay, the Ravagers can't... Are they... I can't tell if they're trying to get in or get out of the base. The Zerglings are in. Bly has 42 drones. And he hasn't really lost very many. He's only lost 3. This is how Bly do. And continuing the attack. This is a classic Bly maneuver, which is maxing out on less than 50 drones. And then... Well... Whatever happens, happens. Bly is the best player in the world at making the game continue with less than 50 drones. Like, I don't know how he does it. Other players try, but it feels like Bly his attacks just don't end. They just keep going. And speaking of, here we are. The next generation. Season 2. The stakes are raised, and so are the supplies. Fuel battery overcharged. More Void Rays, but the Queens providing some sustainability. And the creep is here as well. Some spore crawlers at the back. The siege of the third continues. The flux veins on the way. 15 Ravagers. The Ravagers forcing micro from the Void Rays, which are also being hit by the Queens, as well as battering through the batteries. The creep is on the front door. It's on my property. And I'm calling the Shield Battery Council or some, I don't know where I was going with that, but the Nexus itself is vulnerable. The sheer thickness of this army is hard to contend with. Just actually, oh, carriers have arrived. More Ravagers, corrosive bile, not finding the mark. The Queens with a ton of energy. They drank their Red Bulls before leaving home, or at least I've been sitting around for a while. The Queens, it's going to be down to just Queens. More corrosive biles. The Nexus is taking emotional and some actual damage. It could be reshielded if the batteries had any energy, which... Oh my god, how does this army even exist? It, like... How... This is both the most and least useless army that Bly could possibly have. He... Like, how do you not... What kind of self-control? What kind of psychopath doesn't just dive on the base? Well, he knows he's... No, you son of a bitch. You come back here. You come back here, Bly. No. That's bait. At this point, it has to be a mind game. Like, he has to be intentionally leaving that Nexus so it can't be rebuilt. Or, like... Are you kidding me? All these batteries now rendered obsolete. The Queens will continue. Bly! Brenda will have her revenge. In this minute, 5 minutes from now, we will fight you at the third. We will fight you at the natural. We will fight you in our main and yours. We will never surrender. And Goblin trying to put up defenses. The carriers being shrugged off. The Queens have to come back home because the Void Rays are melting through the base. One spot without creep. Damn it, Karen. I told you. I didn't think we needed it. You said we were attacked. Ah! The leg cramps. Somebody forgot the med guy. Ah! And those are flux veins. I don't give a flux. Goblin may win this game with a TKO. As right now, Bly, without the Queens, can't push the front. And the Flux Veins Void Rays are almost infinitely maneuverable against the Queens who are jostling for a parking slot. A parking spot at the moment. The creep is now extending past the third. So there's vision, all corrosive biles through the speedulas. Oh my god, oh surprise! We're back! Oh my god. That is, oh my, 16 queens. The sweet 16. How many? There are 6 carriers and 9 void rays. And Goblin is long distance mining because he's out of minerals. Bly may actually turtle up. If Bly can deny another base, then, well, he's also kind of running out of minerals, but he's only had 40-something drones. It's really just the long... Technically, you're saving money if you never build more than 40 drones and the map still binds out. Carriers are a rich man's unit. Building those interceptors is not expensive, but it ain't cheap. The cost adds up. It's expensive to be poor as a Protoss. Oh no, those +2 void rays. The queens have 1 base armor. But that's not enough to stop the void rays from burning through. The queens have to be... They don't like to split up, okay? Despite the domestic disputes, splitting up the queens just feels wrong. Is that Storm +3 air attack and also a 3rd base? Goblin? One of those things is not like the others. He found the counter to Queens, which is High Templar and Sky Toss with +3. I had a feeling. I chose a match from the European Cup. I'm like, these two players have some interesting styles. It should be interesting. Well, here it is. The Ravagers walk through the Sky Toss flank. How could they have known? Bly struggling, almost at 50 drones, though Goblin helps him out with that. Corrosive Bile, not gonna find the mark. The +2 is just so good. He's target firing the Ravagers for what he can. Oh my god. Well, the hatchery also dies before the transfuses can get vomited into it. Are those infestors? And, oh my god, a hive. He got a hive. He's gonna go Infestor Viper, which is the ultimate wombo combo. Actually landing those is gonna be quite a thing. Oh, the hatch. Not canceled. Those are precious minerals. It's Queen Infestor. That's it. There's 7 Zerglings, 35 drones, 4 Infestors, and 17 Queens. 16 Queens. Oh my. He's changing targets and hoping that Bly's mouse doesn't move the transfuse button in time. That's the hope. High Templar, water balloon fight. Unupgraded Zerglings. The only basic unit upgrade in the game is +3 air attack, which may be the first time that has ever happened in a professional game. The only upgrade, +3 Protoss air weapons. What is happening? But that is an intimidating upgrade to have, especially if your army is 15 queens. Oh, wombo combo! Parasitic bomb! Didn't quite find the mark. Another parasitic bomb dodges the fungals. Oh, but the bomb! It's a perfect parasitic bomb! It's doing so much! Another fungal! Wombo combo! That's about as much damage as Bly was ever gonna get. And it's not enough. Oh, how he almost makes it work. If he had a couple more infestors or a couple more vipers, he may have actually killed the army. Unfortunately, though, with any economy... Also, here's another first. High Templar clearing creep. It takes a while. Yeah, let's throw it that way. I think of all the players to not count out when they're down 70 supply, it is this Zerg. But that was the big attack. That was the combination. The carriers just have too much HP. The interceptors will be replenished. The economy exists. Bly is technically, he's gone over 50 drones, which, congratulations, achievement unlocked. This army is looking even more deadly than the last. But the stronger they are, the more likely the parasitic bomb won't get figured out in time and a lot of damage will be dealt. Well, I can't really give this up. There's some fungals. 3 charge lots are going to make things ridiculously difficult. Feedback, storm. Feels like Goblin has reached that critical mass. Oh, the fungal with the wait. Was there a parasitic bomb? No? Oh, feedback! 0 out of 5. Would not taste again to those parasitic bombs. And Goblin, it wasn't easy, and it was not straightforward. But Goblin takes game 1. Well, that went sideways, up, down, all around. It was transfused a few dozen times, came back for more, and then finally was ground down by carriers. Game 2. Wow. I mean, that was exactly what I expected from these two. Goblin getting shoved into a weird, like, Stargate-only style by Bly, who decided that 44 drones was just enough. I know what is the score. Insanity 1. Normal Starcraft 0. 1-0 Gob. The name's Job. Alright. These are hallucinations, Michael. Bly takes his natural and might be surprised as to the fact that was an option. Gob did not send out the pylon or earlier probe scout. So here we are. Probe going in. Taking a look around. Maybe a little suspicious here on 2,000 atmospheres. Under the sea. Oh, he just takes... Wow, what a... Subverting expectations. Instead of doing some... Oh, what a power move. Instead of doing the mineral deny trick, he just starts... He takes the mineral. He's like, look at me. Look at me. They look at him. Look what I took. Oh. A very aggressive play here. Shields are coming back a little quicker than the HP of the drones. Significantly quicker. Oh! If he kills a drone, I don't know what I'll do. I will hype up Goblin as the next best Protoss player like Artosis does with whatever Protoss is currently playing in the GSL. We'll see, though. Well, I guess to get out when the Zerglings are there. And this is how you wall off with two... Wait, no, it's not. Is that the two-building wall? No, there's no way that's a wall. I'm not a crazy person. You can wall off this area with two buildings. It's actually a bit of a thinner wall. Is it? There's no way. Somebody show me. Like, it looks weird. Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. Thank you, Probe. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I thought I was losing it for a second. Goblin's like, oh shit, that's not a wall. Well, there you go. He's got his Stargate done. Void Ray on the way. I'm still exhausted after that last game. Brenda and her descendants had a lot of work to do. And it still wasn't enough. Goblin, a big Stargate fan. I think the first time I saw Goblin on like a top tier tournament, he beat Cyril. This was before Cyril was quite invincible, but like Cyril was still crushing it against Protoss. But he beat Cyril with like a mass Phoenix play. Multiple times, like 2 games in a row consistently. So now it makes complete sense why he's on Team Roddy. Team Roddy has one player with tournament winnings. It's Goblin. Team Roddy's logo is a phoenix. Wait a second here. You see, Roddy, a passionate man. Not a subtle one. Now that I think about it. And here we are. Wears his heart and his favorite unit on his sleeve. Now that they have jerseys. If they have jerseys. Not too many Phoenixes so far. In fact, 0 in these last games. But plenty of Stargate action. Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I apologize. Roddy would never be caught dead wearing sleeves outside of a professional setting. Brenda! We're walking! And the... Oh, who is that? Look away! Look away! We don't like your kind around here. We're back for revenge! This one, take a little bit. This is not Beckett Industries. There's no easy tactical withdrawal. I like how he just all out, just straight up with the queens. Hashtag gas queens. This one's quicker though. Ravagers and Lings are following it up, but the queens on the march. Trying to whittle down the energy there. Don't want to get caught between a rock and a hard place. Thought I was going to miss an opportunity for that one. No, never. Roaches and Ravagers, but this time there isn't quite the +1 is a long way off. A lot of queens, a lot of Zerglings, importantly, to cover and drain shield battery energy on the Adepts. So suddenly, wait, that's just one pylon? Oh no!
Who does that?
Oh yeah, says Brent. Oh my god, that was uncomfortable. And suddenly, this looking, he's like, you know, the real key was more queens. Quicker. And this time around, there was no real damage, no slowdown. Bly just rips through the third. He has an aversion to actually killing the base right off the bat, but instead goes back a little for it. And now, here we are again. The +1, the Cyber Core. The Cyber Core required for shield batteries. With no shield batteries, well, with no Cyber Core, you can't build shield batteries. There's no forge for cannons. And pretty soon, there's not going to be any shield batteries at this rate. With no upgrades, shield battery overcharge is off cooldown, has to be used soon or never. I mean, it's not going to get much better than this. The choke point is good. The gateway's making things very difficult. The Queen's trying to work on it. It comes down to shield battery energy. There's the shield battery overcharge. Holding onto it to the last possible second. They transfuses. The front line, out of energy. The Queens are running out. Here we go again. The long-winded attacks. No more transfuses, but the shield batteries themselves are vulnerable. The wall has been broken through. Ravagers being morphed underneath the particularly pretentious noses of the Void Rays. Does that work? Are the cocoons armored? I think he just realized no. He turns on the Void Rays and then realizes none of these are armored units. Those of you who participated in the YouTube poll like a couple weeks ago, over 75% of you were wrong. The only armored unit in that poll was the Viper. Not the Queen, not the Ravager, not the Raven. Literally the option the least people picked. Just because a lot of people, the Queens and our Ravagers are not armored units, so therefore prismatically aligning to deal with them is a terrible idea, and I'm sure Goblin knows that, but he's desperate. He's getting overrun. The Knitting Crew has ripped things apart instead of creating a beautiful oh my god, what a save, but not enough. The shield battery patting itself on the back with the shield battery overcharge. Bly behind this only has 37 drones, but Goblin, he may somehow, after losing 2 Nexi, clean this up, but at what cost? Oh, the Zerglings trickling in. The door is wide open. Okay, one thing though. There's a dozen Void Rays. I neglected to realize how much, like, Goblin has done a great job of keeping his Void Rays alive. Only his Void Rays, but he's actually done some incredible Void Ray micro. It's a thing. And suddenly Bly's like, oh shit, that's a lot of toss. And the Spore Crawler's not a great counter, but they are a counter. The Queens, the next generation, the daughters have risen out of the hatcheries to defend the swarm, where their mothers across the map had a rough time of it. The Queen count with the spores is high enough. This also kills drones. Every time a drone becomes a spore, it both gets promoted and dies. So, lucky them, I guess. Everything that most of you ever wanted. Summarized in a Spore Crawler. Alright. So, Void Ray's heading towards the main. Somehow we're getting to a similar game as the last one. The Natural has been rebuilt, and the worker counts are still surprisingly even. Like and subscribe for existential crises. Oh my god, yep, they work on those. Prismatics work on those. Down goes one Void Ray, but the spores are melting. Oh, another Void Ray goes down. Everyone precious and oh my god. Oh. Lighten up the drones. Everyone's been here before, and now they're in the main. Oh my god, at least we have creep spread this time. Zerglings in the Natural shield battery overcharge, keeping things intact while one Void Ray desperately tries to clean this up. Goblin doing a great job of making a mountain out of this particular molehill. Wait a second. Goblin is really doing a lot of work with these, but oh no, Zerglings in the main! Oh, The probes keep bleeding out. So does Bly's economy, but Bly is successfully dragging the economy down to his level. And he's looking to beat Goblin with experience here. If they're both at barely any workers more than they started with, that's Bly's comfort zone right there. It's in the teens. He's got 36 drones himself. More transfuses. The Void Ray's about to finish +1 attack, giving him significantly better. Well, they're way better against because they attack so quickly. That upgrade applies a ton. +1 air weapons is done. Makes it real hard to stop concentrated fire unless you have enough queens. Flux Veins on the way. Did he find a fleet beacon? He did. Here we go again. Oh my. Oh, he gets another drone that for some reason was on the wrong side of the mineral patch. Oh no. No, don't go out. Not on the end of the base. Don't go outside. There's Void Rays. Have I told you the story of the legacy of the Void? It's not a story a Terran will tell you. Actually, a Terran will tell you. Terran will tell you whatever they want in order to justify their whining, but... Alright, the focus fire. The Void Ray micro is pretty incredible. I gotta say. Like, he's doing so much. 5 kills, 8 kills, 14. Probably got... How many units has he killed? 178. Mostly Zerg. Well, not mostly. How many Zerglings? 100... Okay, mostly Zerglings. I was right the first time. More Void Rays. Can Bly hold? Oh, the Queen count. The flanking Voids are too much. A few Spore Crawler hits. The Queen's trying to hold. Hydras admitting defeat, but... Oh, didn't transfuse! I mean... I don't know if that was intentional or not. Maybe. I don't think it was. I think that base is just gone. He gets the third. It only takes like 1.5 seconds. And an epilepsy warning for Void Rays to do that kind of damage. Oh, I love this. Get right out of vision, recall out. He may be scared of a counterattack. But at the same time, worst case scenario, Bly is still either counterattacking and he defends, or stuck at home thinking there are Void Rays right outside his door. Meanwhile, Bly has been slowly spreading the creep across. Hasn't been super diligent about it. There's been a lot going on. And somehow, what else is going on is this game. In fact, Goblin, once again, working on those upgrades. Bly is definitely in a better position. Bly is not struggling to put any sort of economy together, but he's losing a surprising amount of hatcheries without cancels or transfuses. So, yeah, you're not finding that many. We're back to double-digit queens. Whole feudal society here. But this time, instead of sitting on queens and desperately trying to scramble up to vipers, there are infestors on the way. And even though fungal doesn't stun those Void Rays, one fungal will leave enough of them vulnerable on top of the damage itself does. Does he have pathogen? He does. That means they pop out with a fungal. Did Goblin see them? If Goblin saw them, that first round of fungals could win the game. Goblin gets the 4th and gets out. Upgrades don't matter much. Goblin, he sees an infestor. He's got Flux Veins. He must fly, you fool. Templar Archives, immediately. He's got to go give those infestors some bad reviews, so that way nobody hires them or gives them a Red Bull out of charity. 0 out of 5 on Yelp. That's some bad feedback. +3. What are we doing here? What is happening? How does this keep happening? +3 air weapons and a 3rd base, as well as a Templar Archives. With not a Hydras with 0/0, though they do have range and about to have speed. The Creep and the Hydras now will cancel the 3rd. So, but the Void Rays, the thing is, while he's on the map, it's super risky. The Void Rays will win the fight without fungal. With +2 attack, these Void Rays win any fight without Spore Crawlers and essentially any fight without an energy bar. Oh my god, I can't believe he flew this way. Oh my god, what a catch! But can he follow it up? How does he let it slip? He had one shot. He had it, but then the Hydra's body blocked the infestors, which are so thick. Oh, he had half the void rays. Oh no. The Hydra's just like down in front. Oh, well, we might get to see the wombo combos again. With the Viper Infestor. Oh. Up against the Spellcasters, a full-on wizard battle here. You're a wizard, Bly. I don't know. Bly definitely has a lot more stable footing. He's up 20 workers. This is more Goblin desperately trying to hold on than Bly trying to scramble together a Hail Mary composition, which seems to work more often than not for him. Oh my god. Is Storm done? Storm is done. Honestly, those Hydras, like halfway, were just trying to figure that out. Because who knows with this? Oh, the Vipers. The Vipers. Everything is here. Oh, he sees the Vipers with the probe that was long-distance mining. How fortuitous. That's such a huge deal. Oh, the Storms. He's trying to bait out the energy. He's poking and prodding. The creep is here, by the way. The creep has taken 17 minutes to inexorably spread this far. Parasitic Bomb! Oh, a lot of damage right off the bat. But he's able to split the Void Ray without the Fungals to hold them together. He'll shrug that one off, but there's 4 Vipers. Oh, it's a delicate dance. Is that an... Of course, like, what else would we have to follow this up but an Ultralisk Cavern? The Ultralisks are for killing the Templar. I know. But, like, with no ground army and the way this army... Like, just getting an Ultra to close the disc... It'll get chitinous plating. So that way, the Ultras can eat the Templar. So that way, he can get close enough without feedback to use his Spellcaster Variety Pack. Right now, the feedbacks will one-shot several of these. Or at least, like, just not having the energy is a huge deal. A recall of a hand... Well, actually more than a handful. Depends on how big your hand is. But... Well, with air stacking, I guess they can fit in one tiny spot. But don't do that. Carriers on the way. Things slow down and progress to a situation that... Like, Bly has 60 drones. He somehow found enough money for 6 Ultras. 0 upgrades! Upgrades are overrated. Zerg needs no upgrades. Oh my god. A 3 Hydra hit squad. Baits out a Storm. Come... Oh. Are you kidding me? Just use the Void Rays. What are you doing? He doesn't want to risk a Parasitic Bomb. $35. The army supplies are massive. Usain Boltralists in production. Adrenal glands. Goblin is just going to mine one base at a time with an incredibly dangerous army. Where are the queens? Where are the queens? There are still 11 queens scattered around. Get injects everywhere. Bly is nearing his record high drone count. He's just 4 off at the moment, sitting at 65. Meanwhile, the Ultras looking to chomp through. I think this is the first, like, they'll shrug off the Storms as they were intended. Oh, where's the Parasite? Oh, that was a prime opportunity. Fungal! Double Fungals! Where are the Vipers? Parasitic Bomb doesn't find the best connection, but finds a connection. Good feedbacks. Parasitic Bomb looking for more, but Shield Battery Overcharge keeps things intact. The only thing here is, just like earlier, the Ultras, the ground army can bust through so much. Oh my god! Oh, Parasitic Bomb finds some damage. 2 of them, he baits it, but he just melted the Ultralisk. Oh, wow. chitinous plating be damned. The Ultralisk just wiped off the field, except for this one that murdered all of the probes and is now essentially gutting the economy on his own. Lucky him. He just waved his magic eraser over those Ultras. And then, one Ultra that was left, I don't even know if it was intentionally there. That Ultra killed so many probes. Goblin's at 21 probes. Bly has remaxed. He's been down, like, the economy has been a disaster for Goblin this entire time. A managed and controlled disaster, but it's now slipping into desperate. Oh, looks like Bly has queued up a few creep tumors alongside his healthy dose of optimism. It looks like Goblin has determined that his best option is just give it a shot. Just go. And that is a scare. That's 120 supply. Right? That's not nothing. The thing is, the Ultras just don't care. He can charge up. He can target down. Here come full energy Vipers. A volley of parasitic bombs. Bungles behind. The splash damage. A tsunami in the sky and all over the ground. The army evaporates, disintegrates, and now it's been obliterated. The storms are not going to slow him down enough, and we're all tied up. Bly brings it even after another arduous siege where neither player allowed to get very many workers, but they do have to work hard for their win. Oh, exhausting games. They really stretch those units to their limit. Oh. No, Jimmy. What? We can't just... I know. Okay, a quick advertisement, and then we gotta shout out to our sponsors, and then we'll be back to it. Thank you for watching. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm Winter, and I'm here to tell you all about the Shopify ESL Pro Tour. Did you know Shopify, your favorite e-commerce site for e-commerce things, and also check out Shopify Rebellion, has partnered with ESL to bring you, yes, you, the best Starcraft content this side of liking and subscribing on this channel. Shopify has doubled the prize pool of the ESL Open Cup so we can see Cure and Solar go up against people who will actually win the tournament. Well, Cure and Bly and all these players even more incentivized for these weekly brawls that are just painful, I'm sure, for both the players and those watching. They've brought back the Team Liquid map contest as well as the signature series, so you can get a behind-the-scenes look at these nerds' lives and be like, wow, what a nerd, but that nerd has made nearly $1 million. And then you're like, oh. But in order to take your mind off the pain, might I remind you of Prime Gaming? All right, now, while we're not talking about our ESL, Amazon, or Google overlords, Prime Gaming allows us to subscribe for free to a streamer of our choice on Twitch every month for free. And if you don't subscribe on twitch.tv/wintergaming right now, every single moment you're losing money for me. So subscribe. Or else. Thank you. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're back to the ESL Shopify ESL Pro Tour playoffs. Europe number 71. Will Clem or Big Gabe win? Neither of them are in this match. But maybe on another video. It's all tied up 1-1. I'm sure these players and my voice exhausted. I come in with a best of 3. I'm like, this will be a fun match. Probably some crazy cheeses. Over nice and quick. We'll have a tight 20. All right, just like Zest has. None of these games have been tight in any way. And interpret that however you wish. You'll have plenty of time if this goes the way of the last 2. When I said Bly likes to do a lot with a little, that wasn't an innuendo. That was just showing how efficient he could be. He also likes to do a lot with a lot. Plenty of ultras, infestors, like the maxed out, like on paper, that is the best army for bludgeoning a Protoss player that's on limited basis. Rarely do things play out like that. And also, why are you writing a paper about this scenario? Aren't games supposed to end after the first 28 queens are pulled? Not Bly games. Not Bly games. It really is an outlier, though. An outlier. Where almost like 95% of ZVPs with the queen push, which is like half of ZVPs. So like if you have 95% of ZVPs, and then by 50%, you get 42.5%. And then if you assume that a solid 2% of professional Zergs are Bly, and you multiply that by 42.5%, then what you'll get is 100%, give or take, of games with queens.
That's a fucking don't lie. And they spell disaster for you.
So, with that said, let's move into game 3. A Stargate, 3 bases, a misleadingly standard opening again. Once again, Goblin is going for what looks to be a Stargate expand. Bly with a quick third and a queen to take care of it, despite the arduous journey. Will we just go into a more normal, like, 3 base Ravager Ling against a Twilight Council follow-up? Will we? As Bly builds 3 queens at a time. The Void Ray is confirmed. Well, he's not, he doesn't have the minerals yet, but if he builds 1 more queen, I am comfortable with saying, here we go again. That actually snipes a creep tumor. Bly is making a uncomfortable amount of drones. He's up over 40. What are you doing there, Bly? If I didn't know better, I'd say you weren't even going to do a queen push. I know better, right? I have to know better. Meanwhile, Goblin is getting his second Stargate. As he does. He sees no reason to... Maybe a few more shield batteries at the third. He sees no reason to stop his activities. I do know better, don't I? Oh, of course I did. But of course you all know better as well. This is not a long-winded macro build. This is not Bly setting up for the mid-game. Unless your definition of the mid-game is a dozen queens coming across the map. Activate the knitting needle. The grand knitting needle statue in the center of the hatchery to indicate it's time for a queen push. I don't know. Anyways, Brenda! Here we go, but this time we're doing it like Avengers style. Instead of 1 by 1, side by side, just like the good old days. And then we'll retreat dramatically in a similar fashion. And here come the queens. Goblin. Goblin actually canceling shield batteries. Are you that confident? Have you not been in these last games? Maybe... Wait, why is he saving money? He gets a Twilight and a Forge instead of more defenses. Interesting. I mean, he's adding him now. He wanted to get that tech hub. But here they come. No rocks will stop us! For we are the only thing that's sturdy. You can't transfuse rocks. And that is technically correct. Here we go again. This time, deciding on the... I like this, just skipping to the point. We're not going to flirt with the third anymore. Instead, we're just going to go straight to the natural. Cut right to the action. As +1 air weapons, a very important upgrade. Oh, gunned down by the corrosive bliles. Even shield battery overcharge, for once, was not enough. Under that concentrated firepower. The shield batteries just adding charge. Charge could be a big part. The lack of +1 means the queens are still a solid counter. That queens have 1 base armor, which helps them a lot. And of course, plot armor. It helps them significantly against those Void Rays, which attack without much damage, but pretty quickly. They have their fancy lasers. It does feel like this is starting to grind to a halt. Bly has the creep up nearly to the front. Oh, a queen. No! Susan! God damn it! We told you to walk faster. This is not going well. Bly tried to cut to the chase. There's a reason you work your way to the natural, okay? You don't want to go too far too fast with those queens. Try to go up a ramp, you'll end up turning tail. Bly, for the first time, looks... Oh! Goblin giving him a consolation Bly. But Bly looks like he's flailing. He really wanted to break through there. And though he sniped +1 air weapons, that just encouraged Goblin to explore alternative strategies. More queens on the way. I mean, they're still the best defense against the Void Rays. And there does need to be a defense against the Void Rays. How many shield batteries? There are 12 shield batteries on the map, so the SBPM is at about 1.5. It was probably higher earlier. Depends on when you measure it, right? Like you want your SPPM to be high, so you get it like right as the fourth base comes together. Like you don't want to measuring it right when you get out of the pool or something. So spawning or otherwise. Meanwhile, the tactical retreat bliles. Oh, this is not good. This is all falling apart. Charge is done, and though the queens have a lot of energy, the charge lots are going to absorb a ton of damage. The queen count, the Zerglings doing their best, and actually their best is enough. They'll clean up the charge lots. There are no upgrades on the ground for either side. This is one of the least upgrades, like the upgrades per minute, just basic upgrades compared to any other game. Any other series is about as low as I've ever seen it. This time, for once, though not by choice, a ground weapons upgrade will finish before air weapons for Goblin. This is the first time this series that is true. And it took Bly killing the Cyber Core to happen. Bly comes in, slaps the fourth base out of his hands, and then goes home with whatever he can. Goblin has 71 probes, though. This is over twice the economy of the previous match, though it does feel like a bit of a similar situation. A similar set of upgrades in production. Storm +2 air attack, Flux Veins up against Infestors with no pathogen glands, though. And Hydra upgrades. Void Rays working their way around. Roaches trying to come in and take Goblin's 4th base money once again. They might actually pull it off. Oh my god, everything's in the main. Where are the fungals? Yeah, get over there! Oh no! Wow, that is heartbreaking. While recall would have saved them, Bly was obviously looking the other direction. I think he was looking at the roaches. Even the queens were trying to herd the infestors forward. The recall, like, you can recall fungal units, but... probably could have locked down 3 or 4 Void Rays at least. Bly still, despite his losses, looking to be in an okay position. He's got creep to the 4th. Shield battery overcharge, still powered by the pylon at the back. Feedbacks across the board. They've got a buffet of targets. So many options. Brenda! Oh no, we've seen a lot of Brenda. Almost getting tired of Brenda, to be honest, this series. And, that's not something I say lightly. Oh. Meanwhile, Void Ray is heading out. The entire series has been it's like when a character gets, like a spin-off character gets a series and you realize that, that character has actually no depth. And that is why Alarak was added to the Legacy of the Void campaign. Artanis. No offense. The queens will defend. There is an Ultralisk Cavern. Vipers. Mothership! So we're actually going to get to see the true battle here. Bly is like, well, if I'm going to get more drones, I'm going to get more drones. Goes up to 100. Meanwhile, he's nearing 100, but he's using most of them for spore crawlers. We get to see the Ultralisk Viper Infestor Queen. Oh my god. Ultralisk Viper Infestor Queen Hydra Zergling composition. Up against the Void Ray, Carrier, High Templar, Charge Lot, Archon, Sentry composition. So, buckle up. So this is happening. Both armies could do so much damage to each other so quickly. It is going to come down to, like, while Goblin looked like he was doing a great job on defense, he held everything. He wasn't quite able... I don't know how it happened. Like, look at this! At his doorstep, he walks outside and he has to step through creep. Which is just rude. Let alone keeping him from his 5th. He can't get to a 5th because Bly has creep there. And Bly, like, the game has gone on so long, Bly has made Evo chambers. And he hasn't yet sucked them out of existence for Viper energy. Though I'm sure that'll happen, whether on purpose or not, by some point. Somehow, the 3rd game, instead of being just like a super quick cheese, we've gotten even later game compositions, but more quickly. This is about as late game as it gets. We have all of the good units with most of the good upgrades. These armies are so expensive, especially Goblins, who's worth almost twice as much gas. They're both at 74 workers. Goblin's starting to bank money, so no reason not to move out and try to get some damage done. Bly, on the other hand, isn't quite maxed out. He finishes chitinous plating. 3 Hydras, gonna get a Templar. Spore Crawlers will provide detection and start whittling down the count. Templar versus Vipers. Those Vipers are at full energy. Templar looking for a feedback, but a great fungal to start. Another feedback, the dance. The Archon's busting through, but here come both the Banelings and the Ultras. The Banelings trying to get underneath. It's not happening. The Storms. The buffet of splash damage this time around. Where did the Ultra... The Ultras were supposed to zone out the Templar. The Queens are on the other side of the story. We're not sure how that happened. Bly keeps pulling back. And unlike most Zergs, he doesn't just commit to a fight. He keeps... Are there any Wait, there are no Templar. There are no Templar. Oh, wait, whoa. If he realizes... It's hard to tell there are no Templar. But Microbial Shroud! He realized! Because that'd just be a storm me here. Wait a second. No, Bly with Microbial Shroud! The Time Warp being used. Get over here! He gets the mothership! Down she goes! Microbial Shroud, the actual counter with no storm on the field and minimal Archons. Suddenly the carriers... He used the recall on the mothership in a panic! And suddenly, Microbial Shroud just straight up fighting. Parasitic Bomb not used. Big mistake there. But here come the Queens! Microbial Shroud helping, but isn't enough. The Interceptor count is dipping. Down in the 40s. The Hydra count. Here come the Queens. They've had energy for a while. The Templar are down. More Hydras. Trickling into the fight. Bly losing one of his bases. His supply plummets. I think at the end of the day, while these fights are good, the war is being lost with this cost. And, like, Bly is being remarkably cost efficient while losing everything. Infestation Pit. Targeting Queens. Those are +3 air weapons. Everything. They're melting. Oh, goodbye. Oh, the swarm of it. The golden swarm. Almost PM by the end. As Team Roddy's star and only player, Goblin, riding the Stargate for all it's worth. Bly, putting up the most dramatic possible fight. Oh, Bly possibly the best antagonist in StarCraft. But Goblin locks it down with the Sky Toss and throws away the key. Oh, I picked a best of 3 because I'm like, just a quick series between two kind of cheesy players. Oh, Bly, oh, Bly. What have you done to me? If you enjoyed this Shopify ESL Pro Tour series, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Give a 5-star review if that happens to come up. YouTube's been pushing that lately. And of course, Prime Gaming and all the other advertising we've already done. And nobody watches this part of the video anyways. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. Stay tuned.